Chapter 11. Avni stood silently in front of the small art gallery, her heart thumping unsteadily. The evening air was cool, whispering gently through her hair as she glanced at the flyer clutched tightly in her hand. A small charity event, organized by an anonymous donor, whose funds would go directly to the families affected by corporate corruption scandals. Anonymous, perhaps, but Avni knew exactly who was behind it. It was the same man who had anonymously leaked crucial evidence months earlier, redeeming her name and shattering his own legacy, Arjun Khanna. The thought of him still sent mixed emotions swirling inside her. Gratitude mingled with hurt, longing intertwined with confusion. After months of avoiding any thought of him, fate had forced her hand once more. Rima, ever resourceful, had found proof linking Arjun to the leak. Avni had spent days absorbing the truth, conflicted, uncertain whether to confront him or leave the past buried. Yet here she was. Taking a deep breath, Avni stepped inside. The gallery was softly lit, warm amber lights bathing the abstract canvases and sculptures in a comforting glow. The murmurs of polite conversation swirled around her. She recognized faces, activists, artists, journalists, even a few of her former critics, all gathered for a common cause. Her eyes swept the room until she found him, standing quietly in a secluded corner. Arjun was leaner, more subdued, dressed simply in a white shirt and dark trousers. He appeared different somehow, stripped of the arrogant confidence that once defined him, replaced by quiet humility. Something twisted gently inside her chest. He turned as if sensing her presence, their eyes meeting instantly. His gaze widened slightly with surprise before he composed himself, visibly guarded but gentle. She approached slowly, her pulse quickening with each step. "Avni," he said softly, voice warm yet hesitant. "I didn't expect to see me." She offered a small smile, hoping to steady her nerves. "You invited the entire city, Arjun. I was bound to show up eventually." His lips curved into a tentative smile. "I'm glad you came." Silence stretched between them for a heartbeat, charged and uncertain. Avni finally broke it, her voice quiet yet firm. "I know it was you. The leak, the documents, the donation, everything." Arjun's eyes flickered away briefly, then returned to hers, sincerity and vulnerability clear within them. "You deserved your truth. It was never my intention to let you take the fall." "Yet you did," Avni reminded softly, the hurt still present beneath the surface. "I know," he whispered, pain evident in his voice. "And I regret it every day. I was wrong to put loyalty above integrity. But I hope the truth eventually brought you peace." She studied him carefully, noting the quiet sorrow etched into his features. The powerful, commanding Arjun Khanna had become someone else entirely. Someone far more authentic, genuine in ways she never anticipated. "Peace is complicated," she said finally, glancing away briefly to steady herself. "But understanding helps." He exhaled softly, relief washing across his face. "I never stopped wishing things were different, Avni. I would give anything to rewrite our story." Avni hesitated, her heart aching at his sincerity. "Maybe we can't rewrite it, but perhaps we can start a new one." A startled hope lit his eyes. "You'd truly consider that, after everything?" She stepped closer, voice steady but gentle. "You sacrificed your entire life to clear my name, Arjun. That doesn't erase everything, but it shows me the kind of man you are now, the man you've become." He looked away briefly, clearly overwhelmed. "Losing everything taught me something crucial. That everything I had before was meaningless without integrity, without truth, without you." Avni felt warmth fill her chest, his honesty piercing through layers of distrust. Tentatively, she reached out, placing her hand softly on his arm. "We both paid heavy prices. But maybe we can heal each other." Arjun covered her hand gently with his own, warmth radiating through her fingers. "I'd like that." They stood together quietly, the soft chatter of the gallery fading away, as they shared a silent understanding. In this fragile moment, past wounds began to mend. "I never thanked you properly," she said softly, tilting her face upward. "For what you did." He shook his head gently, fingers tightening around hers. "You don't have to thank me. It was the least I owed you." Avni smiled softly. "You saved more than just my career. You restored my belief that people can change, that there's goodness even after betrayal. I owe that belief to you, Arjun admitted quietly, his voice filled with sincerity. Watching you fight for the truth taught me what courage truly means. Silence fell again, comfortable this time, filled with the quiet promise of reconciliation. Do you miss it? She asked finally, glancing around the gallery, so different from the corporate world he had known. Arjun considered her question thoughtfully. Sometimes. But I'm finding new purpose. Building something honest, something I can be proud of. Helping those who suffered because of the very system I once represented. She squeezed his hand lightly. Then something good came from our pain. Not everything, he murmured softly, eyes meeting hers again, warm and earnest. Losing you was the greatest regret of my life. Avni felt her breath catch at the vulnerability in his words. I'm here now, she whispered, her voice barely audible. Arjun gently raised his free hand, hesitating briefly before brushing a stray lock of hair away from her face. His touch sent a thrill through her, both familiar and entirely new. I promise, he said quietly, voice trembling slightly. I'll never betray your trust again. She looked into his eyes deeply, the honesty there undeniable. I believe you. Slowly, cautiously, they leaned closer, drawn by a force more powerful than their past. When their lips met, it was gentle yet profound, a tentative reconnection that spoke of forgiveness and possibility. The gallery faded completely. All that existed was the quiet whisper of their shared redemption. When they parted, Arjun rested his forehead against hers, eyes closed as he breathed deeply. Thank you for giving me another chance, he whispered. Thank you for earning it, Avni replied softly. Together, amidst softly glowing lights and murmured conversations, their wounds began to truly heal. Not forgotten but transformed. They'd lost much and learned more. Now, humbled and changed, they stood ready to build something genuine from the shattered fragments of their past. In that quiet moment, Avni knew their story was no longer defined by betrayal and heartbreak. Instead, it was written by redemption, trust rebuilt, and the fragile promise of love rediscovered.